We do want to give you a little bit of an idea for those of you who may not be as acquainted with the Florida Citizens Alliance, who we are and what we're about. Well, by now you have a little bit of a flavor that we're just regular people. We're grassroots folks. We're citizen advocates. We just plunged into this because we have a heart for kids and a desire to give them the best opportunity. We take our advocacy seriously, and we appreciate the trust that so many of you have expressed in us in our efforts. We hope we can always live up to your confidence. We call ourselves an alliance, and that is an important thing to us. We believe in people working together. We look for common ground. We think people have a lot in common and a lot of reasons to work together. We look around and we can see the world around us, and we recognize that there are plenty of things that divide people. It's not difficult to find that, and plenty of people who will exploit the opportunity to divide people. But from the very beginning, we have said to ourselves and to others that what we want to do is to try to look for reasons to work together, because we believe that there's strength in working together, and we believe there's a lot of common ground. So we are an alliance. We're regular folks, we're grassroots, and we're an alliance, and that's important to us. And we're also solutions focused. We really think that we can find solutions that will improve student learning, and that's what we're working on. It might come as a surprise to you, but I doubt it, that just about anyone can find a problem. You may have identified a problem even tonight on your way here. You may have identified a problem when you walked in this room, but if you have problems identifying problems, please come to me. I'll be glad to share some of mine with you. You see, we don't think it's really difficult to identify a problem. We think it's much more difficult and much more helpful to look for solutions. And so we have become and remain solution-focused. Yes, we recognize there are problems that need to be solved, but we want to be the people that solve those problems. We don't want to be the people that just rail against the difficulties. There are plenty of difficulties. We don't shy from them. But we want to be the people that find solutions that can help solve those problems and move things forward. So we are solutions-focused. Regular people, an alliance looking to work together with you and others, and solutions-focused. Many years ago, when I was in high school and college, there was a music group that some of you may remember. Now, some of you, when I mention the music group, may say, "Oh yeah, I like that," and some of you may say, "Oh, really?" Well, it's not about our taste in music, but some of you may remember Karen and Richard Carpenter. Yeah, okay. Well, they sang a number of songs, and when I was in the high school chorus, we sang some of their arrangements and all of that sort of thing. And they had a song that I've always remembered. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it went something like this. Bless the beasts and the children, for in this world they have no voice. They have no choice. And there's a lot more to it, but that's what I remember. Children seldom have a voice, and we ask them to do what we ask them to do. And we at the Florida Citizens Alliance want to be a voice for children because they need people to speak up for them. We at the Florida Citizens Alliance want to stand up for children because people need to stand up for them. And so one of the things I hope you will remember about us is that we stand up for kids. I have a granddaughter. We talk about things from time to time, and like all good grandfathers, I think they teach us this in grandfather school. I prod her from time to time and poke at things, and one day we were talking about something, and she looked up at me and she said, "But I'm just a kid." I thought, yeah, you're a kid going on 17, but that's a little different part of the story. But I hope we never forget that our kids really are just kids, and that's why we need to stand up for them and speak up for them. And we hope you will join us in doing just that, because it really does matter. Speaking of our students, wait till the end. At the end of the program tonight, we have a special opportunity for students that we were amazed and pleased to have. And I want you to make sure you hear about it. And if you know some students, you will want to pass this along to them. So don't miss that. There were a lot of things about this event tonight that I was expecting. A lot of things we planned and worked on. But I wasn't expecting to go home with a new car. But thank you. Someone in the VIP reception managed to get this to me. Thank you. I don't know who you are or how I ended up with it, but if at some point tonight you discover yikes, I'm probably the answer to that yikes. Be glad to help you out with that. Everybody's looking now, right? You don't have to identify yourself now. We're not trying to embarrass you. Don't worry about that, but I wanted you to know about that. Oh, and did I mention that at the end of the program, we have a very important announcement for students? Don't forget that. You'll want to know what's going on. There are a lot of people that helped make tonight possible, and a lot of people we want to thank, and I'm sure we could never thank all of them, recognize everyone, but I want to try to recognize some and to give special thanks to them. All of you know that our sponsors really stepped up and helped make this evening possible, and we are so grateful. Billy and Mike Kubley helped us out a great deal with that, and we are really grateful. Thank you so much. The Wheeler Family Foundation, thank you. We appreciate your support more than we know how to say. Naples Security Solutions, and you've seen some of them around tonight. They have helped us enormously, and we appreciate that. And Mason Classical Academy has their entire first-time graduating class here tonight, and we're grateful for that. I think they're over here someplace, right? Yeah, that's terrific. In fact, why don't we have a number of students here, and I don't know where all of them are. If you're a student K through 12 or at one of the universities, we understand you're here. I just don't know who you are and where you are. Could we ask the students to stand up? We'd like to recognize you. That's what this is about, is our students. Isn't that right? Absolutely terrific. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that. Well, where was I? Dan Mezzalingua helped us out as a sponsor, and Dan, we appreciate that too. Bill Allen, thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Well, let's give a round of applause to all these people, would you? All of our sponsors, we really appreciate that. I'm sure we could never find a way to thank you enough, for we have looked forward to this and agonized over this night, but now we celebrate, and you all helped us do that, and we're grateful. And one of our sponsors, who has helped us more than we ever imagined that he would. But we want to give special recognition and appreciation to Ellis and Bob Negley for all of their work on that. And at the risk of getting in further trouble later on, we want Bob to stand so you can see him, and Ellis, you can stand. We want to thank you and present you with this gift of appreciation for all that you've done for us. Bob, thanks so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Want me to put that back in the box? Yeah.
And now I'm really going to risk it. But that's okay. I can run faster than she can. No? Well, Bob would know. Some of you have met Louise Penta. And Louise has done a phenomenal job of putting this all together. The details, the imagination. It was even Louise's original idea that we could do such an event here tonight like this. Louise, I know I'm risking it, but would you please come? We want to all thank you. You have been terrific.
Thank you.
You were and are wonderfully helpful, and we don't know how to say thank you enough.
You're very welcome.
You've done a great job. Well,
as they say at the Ritz, it was my pleasure.
There you go. It was our pleasure to work with you. Well, I'm still standing, so I guess that's good. We also want to recognize, I should mention that early on to help us get started, Francis Rooney, our congressman, was very helpful and supportive of what we've done too. So you all should know that he's been in the corner of children. We have some other special guests. Let me list them. I don't know where all of them are. Some of them I've seen, some of them I have not seen. I hope you're all here, but you're going to be recognized whether you are or not. How about that? But we're really pleased, and you'll meet him in a little while. Our honorary MC, Speaker of the Florida House, Richard Corcoran, is here, and we're glad to welcome him. You'll hear some more from him. Representative Ross Spano is here. He's a member of the Florida House from District 59. Representative, thank you for coming. We also have two members of the Collier County School Board, Erica Donalds, who's down here, Collier County School Board. She's also a member of the, you should hear that she's also a member of the Constitution Revision Commission, so it's important for her to do good work, and we appreciate that. Kelly Lichter, we mentioned Mason Academy, she's here. She's a member of the Collier County School Board. Thank you, Kelly, for coming. We appreciate that. From my county, I'm from Lee County. Kathleen Morgan was going to be here, but if she's here, I haven't seen her. I've been looking for her, but oh, there you are. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And also on the Lee County School Board, Stephen Teuber. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that very much. Some good friends of ours who have helped us, Anthony Verdugo from the Christian Family Coalition. Anthony's over here. And John Stemberger from the Florida Family Coalition. John's over here. He's been very helpful for us. John is also a member of the Constitution Revision Commission. We appreciate his service. Don Orico from the James Madison Institute is here. Thanks for coming, Don. We appreciate that. I understand Doug Rankin is here from the Collier County Republican Group, State Committeeman. Thank you for coming, Don. And a man who has helped us behind the scenes in enormous ways. You remember Representative Matt Hudson. Matt Hudson is here. Matt, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. I'm going to ask you to use your imagination for a few minutes. Think along with me. I want you to imagine that there is a 10-year young student that you dearly love. It can be a boy or a girl, but you may even know someone's 10 years old. I have a grandson 10 years old, except that he just turned 11 and ruined my illustration. But maybe it's a boy who's all energy and a little bit of mischief, but with a tender heart. Maybe it's a girl who is all sunshine and sweetness. Don't we love them? You carry this 10-year-old in your heart. And imagine that you are doing everything you know how to do to help them grow and to learn and thrive. It's because you love them so much. Now keep that image in your mind and think now about a sensitive issue that well, you know one day they will have to know about, but you want to protect them from some of those things for as long as you can. You want to help guide them through it, and you want to be there when it's necessary because you care about them. You would do anything for this 10-year young boy or girl. Now imagine the horror, the heartbreak, the anger that you would feel if someone betrayed your trust and exposed your student to this sensitive issue without your knowledge or consent. This is the experience of a Florida mother who sent her child to school, expecting them to help support her. The Florida public school that her son attends, by her description, betrayed her trust. Her name is Elizabeth, this mother. That's all we can say about her and her family and her son because she's afraid. She's afraid of what might happen if the school finds out that she's spoken up in this way. She's afraid of the consequences to her son. And she really needs the school for her children. They can't afford a private school. They can't afford now problems with the public school. And she likes the school. She and her family deliberately moved to the residence they now occupy so they could go to this school. That's how significant it was. It's an A-rated school. They've been involved at the school. Their experience has been over the years. Her son started in kindergarten, has been mostly positive. Remember, her son attends this school on purpose. It was a deliberate family decision. And like many fourth grade classes, her son's class makes regular visits to the school media center. One routine visit last fall would turn out to be anything but routine. Now remember, I asked you to think of an issue, a sensitive subject, something that you wanted to help your student, the one you carry in your heart with, that you wanted to protect them from for as long as possible, and when necessary, you wanted to be the one to help them through it. It really doesn't matter what the issue is, because if it's important to you, it's important. Yes? So the fourth grade class went to the media center. During the visit, one of the media center staff read a book, or at least portions. We can't be sure. We think it was likely portions, not the whole book. Portions of a book entitled Being Jazz, My Life as a Transgender Teen by Jazz Jennings. The book, and the long and the short of it, makes a hero out of this transgender teenager and introduces the subject to these fourth graders. Turns out, as Elizabeth discovered later, that this was a district-approved and district-distributed book for her children to be exposed to. I would add, and you certainly would make this connection, that this was a book purchased with your tax dollars, and it was purchased by people you support with your tax dollars. You hire them to work on your behalf. As far as the book's concerned, when she brought it up, the book remained in the media center, but now is only accessible to students by parental permission. Elizabeth did not know that the book would be read to her son. She could not determine if any other parents knew about the book. In fact, she's very sure that they did not. As she put it, if a student had not spoken to a parent, we might never have known. To this day, she says, she believes 90% of the parents do not know what happened. And she said, I guarantee it. There were no permission slips sent home. There was no opportunity for parents to opt their children in or out of exposure to the book. Well, you know, I mentioned earlier she was concerned about the consequences to her son, to her family. And so I asked her, when I spoke to her on the phone last week, I asked her, well, why did you speak up? She replied, I felt that my trust for the school was really, and here she paused, thinking, trying to come up with the right word. My trust in the school was really betrayed. I was really, really angry, she went on. I liked the school. It's A-rated, but I felt betrayed. Now she wonders, what else are you telling my son behind my back? When it comes to education, Florida families have few choices. We trust our schools, and sadly, many of them are afraid to speak up. That's why we at the Florida Citizens Alliance want to be a voice for children, so we can speak up on their behalf. We hope you will join the chorus, that you'll stand up with us, that you'll speak up with us, because remember, in this world, children have few choices, and they have few voices, and we want to be among them.